We are now to our I-named storm, and for the most part, the southeast, in terms of flooding, could be spared mostly. However, even with not much of a flooding concern anymore, even with this tropical storm and a really strong hurricane offshore, this will bring very dangerous beach conditions. I'll go over the dangers even of systems offshore in this video. It's CBF Cyclones Sunday, September 28th, 2025. Starting with Hurricane Humberto, it currently has 145 mile an hour sustained winds. The pressure is pretty low for a Category 4 hurricane, 928. That's about what you see in a Category 5 hurricane. And it did have a major drop off over the past few hours from 937 to 928. If the National Hurricane Center, what the National Hurricane Center does after every storm, they will do a post-analysis on every storm. It usually takes a few months for stronger hurricanes, and then for weaker storms that don't really affect land, it can take a month or so. Anyway, for Humberto, this post-analysis will likely take a while, probably into maybe even February. But if they do, or when they do that, they'll probably have this pressure lower over here. Because that is a really big drop off in just 3 hours for the wind speeds not to change. Tropical storm Imelda developed earlier today. It does say 2 o'clock, and it was at 2 o'clock this time. Usually it'll say 2 o'clock when it was really 5 o'clock, but this time it actually was 2 o'clock. It got the name at 2 o'clock, got the wind strong enough at 2 o'clock, and it is forecasted to further intensify into a hurricane. It is making its way through the Bahamas, likely to make landfall somewhere, maybe in Nassau. Now it's actually looking less likely. Previously, the cone was heading straight through Nassau, but now it could make a couple landfalls. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen in terms of landfalls quite yet, but impacts won't be any different. With the rainfall from the system, it has actually changed a lot. Charleston could get the most rain, with 2 to 4 inches, but for the most part it's 1 to 2 inches, if even. So I think most areas will be spared for the most part. Wilmington could also get 2 to 4 inches. These areas have been spared. However, there are still very dangerous rip currents going on, not because of this system as much as it is about Humberto. Here's the rip currents. There is a red rip current, so that means very high rip currents, and that is likely due to Imelda and Humberto. And the Florida Keys, there's no data at the moment. But on the east coast of Florida, there is unsurprisingly a high risk of rip currents for today. So this is very, very dangerous, and this will likely continue into tomorrow. So be sure, if you're swimming, be sure to be near a lifeguard, and I don't even recommend swimming with it like this. And then Imelda is forecast to continue toward Bermuda. Forecast models are showing this hitting as a hurricane. I will show you those later in this video. The National Hurricane Center is saying high-end Category 1 hurricane. It could even be a Category 2 hurricane. And can't even rule out a Category 3 yet, but I would be a little surprised. Starting with the European forecast model, they show the system getting pulled by Humberto. That is probably going to happen at this point. The picture has gotten clearer, so the southeast for the most part has gotten spared. Bermuda is this tiny little island right here. You actually can't see it because of the rain from Humberto and Imelda kind of mixing together. But they do show, the European model shows Bermuda getting very heavy rain, so that is something to watch out for. The European AI model, AI models are kind of becoming the new modern model, and they actually have been pretty accurate. The Google AI model has been really accurate. They were kind of predicting what Imelda is doing right now the whole time. Unfortunately, the Google AI model is not on this page. But the European AI model does show the system maybe making a landfall, although landfalls in Bermuda are rare. The last one was last year, Hurricane Ernesto in August. That was a Category 1 hurricane. This is showing it as a Category 1 hurricane as well. And then finally the GFS, they show it making its way through Bermuda as a Category 1, maybe even a Category 2 hurricane. that 973 pressure. That's a good sign of a Category 2 hurricane. So it's just something to watch out for over the next few days. The tropical storm watch for Bermuda is for Umberto, but once Umberto is gone, probably won't be. Probably the watches and warnings probably won't drop for Bermuda. So that's just something to watch out for. If you're in Bermuda, remain on alert for both of these systems. You could get tropical storm force winds from Umberto and hurricane force winds from Imelda. So I'll be tracking all this for you guys. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching and see ya.